You're listening to the Quint podcast.
Women athletes from the Indian contingent have not only been making the country proud with their incredible performances at the Tokyo Olympics 2020, but also rewriting history as they go. Mirabai Chanu didn't let her setback in Rio deter her and went on to bagging the silver medal in weightlifting. Sindhu became the only woman athlete from India with 2 Olympic medals as she went on to winning the bronze medal in women's badminton singles. Lovlina Borghain has assured herself of a medal at the Tokyo Olympics after winning her welter-weight quarterfinals, and the Indian women's hockey team beat Australia to enter the Olympic semi-final for the very first time, where they'll be facing Argentina on 4th August. But it's not just about winning medals. It's about how, in the face of adversities and the lack of encouragement for women to join sports in the country, this year saw many more women athletes make it to the Olympics and inspire people. While some of the athletes are international rank holders, others became the first Indian women to qualify in their respective categories. Bhavani Devi, for instance, became the first Indian fencer to qualify for the Olympics, while Aditi Ashok became the first female golfer from India to qualify for the Olympics. Some others, like Kamalpreet Kaur, who although fell short of a medal in women's discus finals, is inspiring Indians by smashing the existing gender stereotypes in Indian society and coming into sports. All in all, it was thrilling to see Indian women shine in the last 9 days of the Olympics, and with these incredible wins, are times finally changing for Indian women in sports? In this episode, you'll hear voices of Mirabai Chanu and PV Sindhu. We also spoke to retired athlete Anju Bobby George, who's India's first and only world champion in the IAAF World Athletics Final. She also won a historic bronze medal in long jump at the 2003 World Championships in Athletics in Paris. You're tuned into The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you. And I'm your host, Shorbari. With 56 women in the Indian contingent for Tokyo Olympics, this has been the highest representation of female athletes ever by India. And since the turn of the millennium, we're seeing many more women's names and many more women's faces in sports. PV Sindhu, Mary Kom, Sania Mirza, Saina Nehwal are all household names by now, but it wasn't a cakewalk for women athletes to come this far. To begin with, Indian women started participating in the Olympics 52 years. Yes, you've heard that right. 52 years after men started. The 1952 contingent had only 4 women athletes, runners Nilima Ghosh and Mary D'Souza Siqueira, and swimmers Dolly Nazir and Aarti Shah accompany 60 male athletes to the Helsinki Olympics. And although they returned home without any medals, what they managed to do was far greater. Pave the way for more women to leave their mark in a sphere that has carried a deep gender bias for long. And despite the lack of infrastructure, that's how India got MD Valsamma, who won a gold medal for the 400-meter hurdles in the 1982 Asian Games, and PT Usha, whose spectacular run at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games earned her the title of Queen of the Track and Field, and Karna Malleshwari, the first Indian woman Olympian who brought home a bronze in the 2000 Olympics. But over the last 2 decades, Indian women have been simply trailblazing in the world of sports and Olympics. While more women from India are qualifying for the Olympics, with every passing event, they're also consistently rewriting the records that have been left by their predecessors. So let's look at what we've seen so far. Manipur's Mirabai Chanu added to the legacy that Malleshwari had started by bringing home the first weightlifting medal at the Olympic Games in more than 20 years. Her silver was India's very first win this year, was also the first time that India won a medal at the opening day of the Olympic Games. But Chanu comes from humble origins, and she was inspired to take up weightlifting by seeing another Manipuri weightlifter, Kunjarani Devi. And it wasn't an easy journey at all. According to a report on Hindustan Times, she had to convince her parents to let her take up sports as a career, and she also lacked proper weights to train with. An Economic Times report also quoted Chanu as saying, and I'm quoting her statement, quote, "I read about Kunjarani Devi in newspapers and my school books. Her life inspired me to take up the sport. In our village, there was no such thing as weightlifting, but I explained to my mother that I wanted to lift iron. She was worried since I'm a girl, but I wanted to lift the heaviest weight and show the world." End quote. And after clinching a silver medal, Chanu hopes to do the same, inspire more women to join sports.
ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हिंदुस्तान में लड़कियां गेम्स में नहीं डालती, तो मैं ये सबसे पहले बोलना चाहती हूँ कि सारी फैमिली लड़की को सिर्फ पढ़ाई के लिए नहीं है, हम गेम में जाके हम इंडिया के लिए हम कुछ कर सकते हैं। बहुत सारी लड़कियों में पावर बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, तो मैं सारी फैमिलीज को मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ कि जो भी लड़की करना चाहिए उसी को, जो भी स्पोर्ट्स में इसको भेजिए, उनके अंदर का जो करने का वहाँ पे उसको दे दीजिए। तो ये मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ, खास होकर लड़कियाँ स्पोर्ट्स में आके हम सब मिलके इंडिया के नाम को और ऊपर करते हैं लड़के। मैं आज से बहुत सारी चेंज मिलेगा, क्योंकि वेटलिफ्टिंग में लड़कियां बहुत कम मिलते हैं, बहुत कम आती है। तो मुझे लग रहा है अभी इसी की बात सारी लड़कियां वेटलिफ्टिंग में आए और मेहनत करें, ज़्यादा से नेक्स्ट में जो भी कॉम्पिटिशन आएगी तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेट लड़कियां करें, तो बहुत चेंज मिलेगा। वो लोग मुझे देख के या सभी को देख के ऐसा लगे कि वो भी और कुछ कर सकते हैं वेटलिफ्टिंग में जाके।
Moving on to PV Sindhu, the more one talks about her remarkable career, the less it is. She not only became the only Indian woman to have 2 Olympic medals, but even in the history of women's badminton, Sindhu is only the 4th female player to win medals at 2 consecutive Olympic Games. And this is what she had to say about her badminton journey after her win.
Yeah, well, this whole journey of 5 years was a lot of ups and downs where, after Rio, I mean, a lot has changed in my game, experience wise. And yeah, I think, I've lost few matches, I won few matches, I won the world championships. Yeah, a lot of things happened. So I think altogether, I've learned a lot more. And I think it all comes with the experience where, in my game wise, I've improved. And also, due to this pandemic, I mean, a lot of lives, where a lot of people have been affected with COVID, and a lot of things have been happening. But I think in this pandemic, a lot of tournaments also have been getting cancelled. But I think for me, I've utilized it in a very good way, where we actually got to learn new skill and new technique. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Mr. Park was always with me, training me every single day, and we've been learning new stroke and technique. So I think it has really helped me altogether.
While India celebrates such record-breaking victories now, let's also not forget how women had to challenge traditions and biases and take up sports to bring the country these wins. In an interview to CNN, Sindhu recalled how the perception around women taking up sports used to be. And I'd like to read out a quote from the interview. Quote, "Before I even started playing badminton, it was more like girls shouldn't come out and play sports. You need to stay at home. But since a few years back, it has changed. It's no more that girls should stay at home." End quote. But moving on to boxing, Mary Kom was not only the only Indian to qualify in women's boxing in 2012, but also got a bronze home that year. The Tokyo Olympics was her last one, and even though it didn't end up in a victory, her illustrious career is unmatched. But before becoming Magnificent Mary, as she's popularly known, she too had to go through several hurdles. From toiling in a family land to facing objections from her father about taking up boxing, Mary Kom has fought through it all. And despite her loss in Tokyo now, she's without doubt one of India's top athletes, with even a movie being made on her. In fact, after her loss, she told the media that she has no intentions of quitting. And I'm again going to quote one line for you. Quote, "I've been fighting for 20 years. I'm a mother, I have 4 kids, and I've been fighting continuously and achieving much. I will play till I'm 40. End quote. But although we'll miss Mary Kom in the Olympics arena, we have 23-year-old Lovlina Borghain to carry on with India's boxing legacy at the Olympics. She's already on her way to becoming the 3rd Indian boxer after Vijender Singh and Mary Kom to win an Olympic medal. But in an earlier interview to the Indian Express, she had talked about how the village she grew up in would pity the fact that her parents have no male child. And now this athlete has her eyes on gold.
पूरा इंडिया मेरे लिए प्रे कर रहा है, मुझे पता है, तो मुझे खुद को विश्वास रखना है और मुझे बस अपना 100% देना है। मैं इतना ही सोचा था। गोल्ड ही है, बस मेडल तो एक ही होता है, गोल्ड ही होता है, तो उसी के लिए अभी तैयारी करना है मुझे।
With the women's hockey team qualifying for the semi-finals at the Olympics led by captain Rani Rampal, this team has scripted history. In a country that is obsessed with men's cricket, the women's hockey team's outstanding performance has managed to send ripples of excitement on social media platforms. After all, it's no mean feat to have defeated world number 2 Australia to come so far. But Rampal had begun her hockey practice in salwar kameez with a broken hockey stick. Sharing her life story with the Instagram page Humans of Bombay, she said that she could barely manage 2 square meals a day. And it's not just poverty alone that she had to fight through. It took a local coach a lot of convincing before he let her practice with him. But what do these tremendous achievements mean for women? Retired long jump athlete Anju Bobby George says that women and girls have had to face a lot of societal obstacles and continue to face it till this day. But women athletes are ready to showcase their skills.
See, in some point, women, girl kids, they suffered a lot. Even in some part of our country, even still, if they when one girl child born, they think that it's a liability for their family. But now things are changing, and now see, we are getting equal opportunity, and everywhere we are talking about gender equality. So even this Olympics also, that was the main thing, and now that is happening in India. And everywhere, even in politics, even in sports, the opportunities are equal. So that's why our women athletes are coming up. We are everywhere. We are ready to do, and we are ready to showcase ourselves. We are ready to talk about anything. We are ready to do our maximum, and that's why the changes are happening, and we are getting more women athletes in sports, and we are bringing laurels to our country. As a women athlete, I'm really happy about that, because for last few editions, our women athletes are making us very proud. Whether it's Olympics or World Championship or in any field. So our women power we are showing, and see, I got a card today. So it was written in like that, whether it's Olympics or wedding, India demands women to bring gold. So it was a fun thing, and so that's how it's going. In any field, if you take any field, one women face is dominating. It could be in badminton, tennis, boxing, athletics, or any field, even hockey or any field. Women athletes face are dominating, and we are going ahead with our women power, and we are showcasing our women, and we are celebrating our women athletes.
In a country where sports are dominated by men, women's participation in sports is fast increasing. According to an India Spent article from 2015, the participation of women in village, district, state and national level sports competitions has grown by 328% since 2011. But where there's still a lot of gender disparity, the government has a big role to play in encouraging more women participation, starting with improving the gender budget that has been dipping over the past few years. The general underfunding in sports beyond cricket also means that while some have had to use their resources to grab an opportunity, India is also missing out on a lot of potential talent. Ms. George believes that while women athletes have to fight for their rights, things are slowly changing.
A normal saying is like, only crying child will get the milk. So we have to fight for, at some point we have to fight for our rights and things. But ultimately things are happening, so I am happy in that way. Generally it was the perception was, see, women are very weak and we are not able to do that, so the men is dominating and they are taking care of the house, or they are ruling the world, and women it's just for just to produce next generation and taking care of the family. So that was the first thing coming in our mind. But now it's changing. See, we are ready to do anything, and we also have that much power.
In the coming 6 days, there are many more women athletes to watch out for, so stay tuned to the Quint for all updates on Tokyo Olympics. If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, Jiao, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out the podcast section. For any feedback, shoot an email to podcasts@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.